studio with the MacBook.
Can do whatever you want with that MacBook.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I would say what I remember from that game was it was a hard fought game. Um, our team last year, we were able to, uh, not let the win or not let the score dictate how we wanted to finish or how we wanted to continue to play that game. Obviously, the result was a win, but it's a new year. They've made some changes to their defense. Same scheme, but then personnel-wise, they've moved some guys around, and then they've also acquired some new guys. So what they've put on film, I mean, they're very sound in the back end. They'll get to you in the front end, and then also with their front seven in the run game, we're going to have to be on our P's and Q's when it comes to who we're pointing out. And what they put on film is they're very physical. So we're going to have to match their physicality, and we'll be ready come Sunday. I didn't watch the game. I think I was sleeping probably from after opening gifts and whatnot and spending time with my family. But watching the film, I mean they played the 49ers well. You don't just show up to a game and get the amount of turnovers that they had. So we know that they'll be ready for us, and we got to be ready for them. I would say every time we step foot on that field, we want to win. It doesn't matter what's at stake. We want to win. If we know we win, this next game, we win the following game, we continue to win, we'll get to where we want to go to as a team. I think both can be true. You can have speed and you can be physical as well. And I think that's what people misunderstand when it comes to our team. They see, okay, guys are fast, guys are flying around the field. But look at our runs. Look at everyone that has man blocks, that has crack blocks. Like, guys are willing to take on DNs that are way smaller. When with the receivers that we have, like we don't have the biggest wide receiver crew, but like guys get in there, they do what they need to do, and that's what I would say to that. Like, we have a fast and we have a physical team. Yeah, I would say when you're able to do that, it does feel a little different. But any way we can get a win here in December, that's what we want to do. Well, I don't think for us as a team we even think about that. And I think that's what has me convinced that we have the right guys in the locker room, I would say. No one's talking about like, oh, we need to beat this team to do this. We need to beat this team to do that. Like, guys come in and guys just, hey, how was Christmas? Like, it was good. And then guys go to their meeting rooms, guys lock in. Then when it's time for us to break and have some time, guys, we understand what's at stake, but I think if you overdo it, I think if you overdo it, it could get to a point where you start chasing ghosts in a way. Whereas, you study the way you study, you do things the way you've done things. And then if you just add a little more, each time on top of that, we could possibly be the team that we've always wanted to be since training camps, since OTAs and things like that. I think I'm very comfortable. And just the way that I lead is different than, others lead. But I would say I'm very comfortable with the way I lead. Well, every season, it's a new deal, and I would say, it sounds cliche, but every season you always bless you. You always hope and pray that this is going to be the team. I think what sets this team apart than any other team is the leaders that we have, both offense and defensively, and guys willing to like, hey, if I'm doing something wrong, like guys willing to hold others accountable to what they need to do. So I would say that's what feels a little different this year than maybe a couple of the other years with the teams that we've had. Oh, I could care less about that. I got a lot of respect for Lamar. The things that he's done throughout his career, I can vividly remember when I was in college. I think he was in the NFL, and he reached out to me, and like told me that I was balling, and I thought that was like one of the coolest things. I think that was the year he won the MVP. But just the amount of respect that I have for him, who he is as a player, and then I've been hearing talks about what people say about him and whatnot, and how he handles himself and how he goes about his business. Very respectable, very commendable, and he's a baller. Like, that's just flat out what he is, and that's what he does. He's a game changer with what he can do in the pocket, throwing the ball deep, on the run, and then he can make you miss with his legs as well. So I got a lot of respect for him. Yeah, it does make it tough when one of your star wideouts is down, but like I've said, time over time, it's next man up, and that's the mentality we have. And whoever is in, I have trust that they're going to do what they need to do, and they have trust that I'm going to put the ball where it should be, and make the right reads and whatnot. I think it's good. Anytime you can do that, not turn the ball over, and end drives with kicks. I think that does a lot of good things for our team. I say that with the merit of, obviously we didn't have a good game against Tennessee, but with the merit of these other games, it's worked in our favor. Yeah, it was on Instagram. Mm-hmm. Just when we play. Just when we played against each other. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think if you've heard his story, then you'd understand, why his teammates gravitate so much to him. Obviously, everyone has their own story. Everyone has, their background and things that they've come from to be who they are today. But I think he has a really, really cool story. He has a really cool perspective on life and how he goes about his life with his family, obviously his kids and his wife. And, sort of knowing that, and then him traveling from teams, when he got to the league, like he only had like 18 like touchdowns in however many seasons he's played up to this point. Within this year, now he's broken that for his career. And then also he holds the Miami Dolphins record. So, we have conversations about that. Like, oh, I didn't know that. Like, thanks for sharing that. Now I'm gonna go share it with social media right here. But I'm just very happy for him, and I think that's what makes and allows teammates to gravitate towards him, is understanding who he is and hearing his story. Yeah, I think everyone has one that's in this league. There's not one person that hasn't had one or two or three people tell them that you couldn't do a certain thing, or you couldn't do this or do that. But for others, it's the level of you can't that some people get. That some guys on the team can't relate to and others can. But it's cool to see everyone's journey, and it's just cool to see the success of the team, with a lot of the guys on the team that have had people that have doubted them. I would say Coach Saban never necessarily focused much on the offensive side of things. He let the offense do their thing. He was focused more so on the defensive side. But I can say when we did have bad practices, it was when the offense was destroying the defense. Then when we had good practices, it was when the defense was destroying the offense. So that's what I would say. And he held a lot of pride in that. But throughout my time playing there, like he has a lot of jokes. Like, he's very sarcastic when the offense would come up and end the drive with a 2-minute deal. So against the defense, so he's very sarcastic, and it's pretty funny. Hey, he'll tell you he's the best athlete. He'll tell you that. But yeah, I don't know. He's a coach now. He didn't play any further than that. So I don't know. But I got a lot of respect for Coach Saban. I appreciate the things that he's done for me and whatnot. But yep. Thanks, guys. Thanks.